But just because you might not be right now doesn't mean that that's your future. But I'll tell you, the top people in your community, in your industry, right, in your office are out and about and they're being seen. So I really want you to take in this component of, I need to master myself if I want to master the game. If you don't master yourself, if you don't control yourself, if you don't manage your time, if you're like my dog running amok of the streets because you are now free and you don't have to work and you're getting up at 8, 9, 10 o'clock, you're in your PJs till 11, you're on your email, you're doing this, you're doing that. I can't tell you the amount of prospecting calls we've taken where it's 11 o'clock and the person hasn't showered and it's Tuesday. I'm like, what's going on? You need to have some self-accountability. As a brand new real estate agent or even a experienced real estate agent, your self-mastery, your ability to stay in momentum and your ability to not get bogged down is so crucial to your success. Here's one of the big challenges that new agents have, is that they get out of corporate America or they get out of their job where they're told to be in at 9 o'clock, they're going to work till 2, they're going to take a break, they're going to get a lunch, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, is that they had structure. And when your dog is in your backyard, your dog behaves a certain way. But if your dog was anything like our dogs growing up, the minute that gate was open, my dog bolted, right? He was a rescue. He loved the streets. I don't know where he took after because I would never do that personally. But he was wild. Right? That gate opened and he was wild and he was fast and he would run. And the more we chased him, the more he ran. And we would chase him down the road, right? Because he was wild. He didn't have mastery. But when he was in the gate, in the backyard, that boy was well behaved. Now, when you go from corporate America or a job where you're told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, to your own world, this freedom, right? As my puppy would call it, freedom. He would go wild and he would just take off and he would come back a couple hours later, exhausted, right? One time he got hit by a car. It was crazy. He came back and I was like, Mom, is the dog limping? She's like, I thought he was. I was like, okay, what the hell happened? She's like, I don't know. We grab him and he's got like these weird marks and a couple of cuts on him. And I was like, Mom, I think he got hit by a car. And she's like, no. Well, that's what happens when you get out in the real world, right? When you get out into real estate and you're on your own, you're like the dog running around and you might get hit by cars and bumped and bruised. A lot of new agents don't succeed because they don't have structure, because they don't have the personal accountability. So there's a couple of quick tips that I want to give you as an agent that you, whether you're new in the business or you're a 5-year vet, right? You need to have some self-accountability. And some of those things are going to be, one is your focus. Your energy goes where your focus is at, okay? Where you focus is where your energy flows. So what is your focus every day? If it's not talking to at least 20 people about real estate, you might not make it. 5 people about real estate is not enough. 10 people is okay, right? You'll get okay results. You'll be mediocre. 15 people, now you're starting to get into the great, like good. Not great yet, you're starting to get into the great. 17 is like great. 20 plus, you're going to have some extraordinary results. All right, so 20 contacts should be your bare minimum a day. Really though, what we're finding in this market, right, the 2023 market, is that it's 30 contacts. I know. You're going to have to work hard to make money in this industry, right? So your focus should be not to do the busy work, but to do the work that's going to cause you to be successful. Number 2, you need to focus your time, right? Your time is the most precious commodity you have. It's more valuable than gold, more valuable than silver, more valuable than titanium, uranium, nickel, you name it. Your time is the most valuable commodity you have. And your time should be spent 80% of your time should be money-making activities 20% of your time should be spent other tasks. Let me unpack that. Money-making activities are not going to your office meeting. Money-making activities are not going to your office get-togethers. Money-making activities are watching these trainings. Money-making activities are having coffee dates with your sphere of influence that could potentially refer or do business with you. Money-making activities are not lunches with other average brokers in your office. Why would you want to hang out with the average agent in your office that's struggling themselves? That's like the blind leading the blind. I don't want a blind person leading me down the street. It doesn't seem like a good idea. Your broker will tell you, you need to come to all the office trainings. Why? So they can give you the same training that gives everybody else where they're getting a bunch of objections and failing, right? If your office success rate isn't 80%, where 80% of the agents are succeeding at a high level because of the training that your office is providing, why would you go to the office trainings? And let me tell you, I went to all of our office trainings, right? I went to all of our office trainings, but I also got into the office at 6:30 to 7 every morning, which brings me to the next part. What time are you willing and what time are you committed to getting into your office? Right? What time are you willing and committed to get to your office? If you want to be a top 1%er, a top 5%er, a top 10%er, right? What time are you willing and committed to get to work? Now I get it. There's kids involved in family obligations, right? So I understand, but if you had a job that was paying you $150,000, $250,000, $500,000 a year, and they told you to be at the office at 7:30, would you be at the office at 7:30, or would you like, well, I can't make it, you just take that $500,000 and shove it? No, you'd probably be there. So what time are you willing and committed to get to your office? Every day. I was one of the first people in, and I'm not saying that to brag, but I did that since 17 years old as a Cutco kid. Why? Because my manager said, hey, Vic, first one in wins. My grandpa, 4 a.m. out the house every day, right? 4 a.m. he was out the house. When the levees broke at 12 o'clock at night and they called him, guess what? He would go and fix the levees. And by the time the workers got there, he would be done. He'd be like, all right, the leak's fixed. You guys make sure that it's strong. But I did my job. I'm going back to get 2 hours of sleep. What are you willing and committed to do to succeed? 80% of your day should be prospecting, meeting with clients, showing clients, doing appointments, writing offers. 20% of your day should be fires, paperwork, emails, other nonsense that doesn't generate money. We don't want to be busy. We want to be productive. The third thing is what social media marketing are you doing every day? What social media marketing are you doing every day? Are you putting out content? Are you putting out videos? Are you putting out reels? Are you putting out education? Are you entertaining your people by showing them the parks and the restaurants and the coffee shops? Are you showing them where to go get copies made? Right? Are you showing them what's great about your community? Why they would want to live in the neighborhood that you aspire to sell in? Are you putting out content daily or not? If you're not, I'm confused because I see Mercedes commercials all over the world. I see Rolex commercials in all sorts of magazines, all sorts of advertisements, all sorts of sporting events. And they already have a brand. You don't, and yet you're not putting out content. If you are, when are you doing it? Right? What is your commitment to putting out one piece of content per day? One piece, that's it. One piece. I know you scroll on your phone while you're pooing. Why don't you just put out a piece of content? The fifth thing is, we talked about it a little bit ago, but your office meetings won't make you rich. I think it's important to go so that you can interact with other agents, right? Interact with your managers, interact with your brokers. It gets you in the world of real estate, which is important. I think the more you immerse yourself and become obsessed with real estate, the better you do. But your office meeting ain't going to make you rich. So if you go to your office meeting and you're like, oh, well, I went to work today. That's not work, y'all. That's just hang out. You get the bagels, you get the cream cheese, you get a sugar high. Sometimes they bring you donuts, right? Which I can't imagine why you'd ever bring donuts into an office just to get people spiked up on sugar so it could crash. Don't get me started on that. But your office meetings ain't going to make you rich. The next point is your health matters. If you don't make time for your health will make you make time for it in the future. So you either have the option of being proactive or reactive. If you want to be proactive, you will be healthier. You will be happier. You will be more energetic, and you will make more people happy. And those people in turn will make you happy because you will get paid. If you don't take care of your health, you will have health issues. You will have pain. You will have problems. You will have diabetes. You will have heart failure. You will have low energy. You will have pain in your joints, right? I used to own a wellness business with my dad, and my dad's a wellness doctor in California. So I've seen this. I've seen people that were my age that I thought were in their 60s and 70s. And they go, no, we were born in the 80s. And I'm like, what 80 era were you born? You look like shiz. You look horrible. Pain, complaining, constantly at the hospital, the doctors, taking this drug for this thing and this thing for that thing and that thing for that thing and that thing for this thing to stop this thing that they're taking this drug for. Oh my God. How can anybody keep track of that? If you don't make time for your health will make you make time when it's far too late to change it. So are you taking care of your health? And the last one is don't be lazy, right? Don't be lazy. You cannot be successful and be lazy at the same time. Anybody who tells me, well, Vikram, I just want to work off of social media. Great. When a lead comes in from social media, what are you going to do? I'm just curious. How are your conversations going to be, right? What is your tonality going to be? Are you going to be able to take that lead and turn them into a client? Because I've seen referrals come to agents and they don't get the appointment and they don't get the deal. It's happened to me when I didn't know what I was doing, right? When I was just working off of my charisma and I didn't have it systematized, I would lay down deals because I didn't know exactly the process. And I was like, oh, it's a referral. I don't have to do this. Oh, it's a past client. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. And I would lose the deal. And these are laydowns, right? So if you're going to be lazy and if you are going to think that it's easy, or if you think that, oh, it's a referral, I don't got to do any work, you will lose business. And when it's a past client that's selling a $2.5 million house and buying a $4 million house that you were lazy on, that they then don't hire you and they hire another agent who wasn't lazy, even though you had transacted with them multiple times, and they go off to doing $10+ million in deals in a 3-year period, which is a $250,000 to $300,000 kick in the you know what? Let me tell you, you stop being lazy. You stop taking people for granted. And I see this happening all the time. Agents think because it's a referral, they can be lazy. And that's the wrong approach. You never know who's doing what. You never know what they're thinking. You never know who they're interviewing. You never know who's referring other people to them. And I guarantee you, your top clients are meeting with agents on a regular basis because agents are always going to networking events, always going to charity events, always out and about, always at the coffee shops. So just because you might not be right now doesn't mean that that's your future. But I'll tell you, the top people in your community, in your industry, right, in your office are out and about and they're being seen. So I really want you to take in this component of I need to master myself if I want to master the game, right? Tony Robbins, master the game. If you don't master yourself, if you don't control yourself, if you don't manage your time, if you're like my dog running amok of the streets because you are now free and you don't have to work and you're getting up at 8, 9, 10 o'clock, you're in your PJs till 11, you're on your email, you're doing this, you're doing that. I can't tell you the amount of prospecting calls we've taken where it's 11 o'clock and the person hasn't showered and it's Tuesday. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, we're not making the sales we want. I think it's the leads. I said, oh, okay, yeah. We asked a bunch of questions. Then about halfway through, I'm like, I'm just curious. Where are you at right now? Oh, I'm at home. Oh, okay, cool. So you have a home office? No, just running a little behind today. Oh, okay. Are you in your pajamas? I am. Oh. So it's a leads problem though, right? We need more leads. No, we just need to work, right? If you're in your pajamas, a coach for a coaching relationship at 11 o'clock in the morning, and you know you have a meeting and you're in your PJs, you're probably showing up like that when you're not in a coaching relationship, which means you're probably not doing the prospecting, the marketing, the meetings. You're probably not doing the 80% of the work you need to do. And you're probably focusing on the 20 and making that the 80 and then saying we need more leads when you really just need more structure. I know this one was a little heavy. I appreciate you for watching and sticking it out, but sometimes we need to hear the truth. And it doesn't matter if you're a new agent or a senior agent that's successful. sometimes we all need to get a little kick in the butt because I'm here for you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, baby.